Let me share my screen. Just we'll start in a couple of minutes, okay? So any questions in last session? So we just started with basics of programming and how good we are writing the code and what are the parameters as a team lead, and I'm going to check for, from you guys, right? So what are the things if I wanted to take your code as a perfect code in my project? So whether business requirement is satisfied or not, developed with test-driven development, JUnit test cases are completed or not, coding standards and best practices are followed or not, logging framework is implemented or not, and code coverage report is run or not. So by using these parameters, then only I will consider your code is completed. Hope you got it right. Right. And we just started with JUnit test cases and basic testing only we did. Okay. All right. So the last session, few people asked a couple of questions. So how to test void methods, right? Just a minute. So few people asked about a question last, how to test void methods, right? So this is the question, right? Now, so and a few people asked about full stack Java course from my side. So Java course from my side will be started on 29th Monday, 29th May 2023, time 7 PM IST. Okay, so this is one update about full stack Java course, and tomorrow we have one free workshop on interview questions. Workshop Java interview questions. So this is the update, right? So let me tell you the timing. Just give me a minute more. Java interview questions, 28th May 2023, and time will be 6 PM tomorrow. Time 6 PM IST. So these are all the updates of my next coming sessions, guys. So tomorrow, Sunday. So it's a workshop, core Java interview questions. So we'll discuss around, thought of discussing about 50 to 100 questions. So covering almost maximum of core Java questions and starting from basics. Okay, so try to attend that, and my full stack course will be started from Monday. Okay, so this is the update, ma. So in previous session, few guys are asked, right? Okay, right. So any more questions?
Sir, did you share will you share notes, sir, for this
Yeah,
one?
we'll share these notes today, ma. So today JUnit will be completed, right? So that notes is prepared, right? So we'll share these notes, ma. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So how to share? Where the notes will be stored?
Sorry.
The notes, how will share by email?
Yeah, through email or admin contact admin people. People will share these notes, ma. Okay. Right. And these recording videos, everything you will get. Okay. So,
Sir, tomorrow session core Java only on the tomorrow questions 100 questions only on the core Java or total?
only core Java, core Java.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
So minimum 50 questions, ma, based on the time. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
And if time not sufficient, then we'll go for one more day. Okay. So we'll plan accordingly one more weekend. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Right. Good. Right. So session 2. Guys, shall we start? Any more questions? Right.
So just want to know the syllabus of full stack Java course and fee structure.
Fee structure and all you can get from our admin team. Okay. So
Okay.
and Java full stack course, you will get all the concepts. So let's say Java followed by advanced Java, and maybe our database side Oracle or MySQL, right? And followed by UI courses, right? So in that again you have Spring, Hibernate, web services, right? So design patterns and this JUnit and real-time projects and a few more things, Maven and etc. and microservices services, and on top of that Spring Boot. Okay.
Okay.
And UI maybe Angular or React, HTML, all those things. Okay. So we'll share entire syllabus curriculum. Okay.
Okay.
And the duration and all course fees and duration, just you can contact our admin department guys. Okay. Those guys are the good possible point of contacts for you for addressing all your questions regarding payments and how many installments, etc. Okay.
Okay.
Hope you understood, right? Right. Any more questions? So we'll start.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So just revise in last session what we did. Okay, right. So just a basic example only we did, right? So we have written one string program, right? We have written one string program. So inside of string program, we are passing one input and we are expecting the output to be returned with a mirror image. And after that, we did testing for that, right? So we did testing, right? So we have covered all the positive and negative scenarios, right? And then, so what is the problem? Have you noticed here? What is the problem? How many test methods are there? How many test methods are there? 1, 2, 3 methods are there. Okay. Now observe here. How many times you are instantiating an object of string utility? In almost all the methods, you are instantiating an object of string utility, right? Don't you think this is a repeatable code?
Duplicate code also.
Yes, repeatable code or boilerplate code or repeatable code, right? So see, here we are having one line of code, and maybe you might need after creation of initialization, after instantiating an object, you might need some pre-existed data, maybe some initialized data to test the scenarios. So in that case, how many times you need to create an instance and initialize the data? Whenever you are having a test case method, in all the methods, you need to go for that object instantiation and maybe initialization logic, or maybe object deallocation logic by calling the destroy method, etc. Okay, so to stop that, and we can go with few more annotations, right? At the rate of before annotation. And last session, what are all the annotations we discussed? We discussed about at the rate of test annotation only. Maybe we discussed about at the rate of ignore annotation, right? So other than that, we didn't discuss much about that. So now today's session, we'll discuss about at the rate of before annotation and at the rate of after annotation, right? And we'll discuss about at the rate of before class, and we'll discuss about at the rate of after class annotation, right? And we can go for fixed method order annotation, etc. Right? And we will discuss about a few more while it come across, right? And we'll discuss about few more asset methods, right? Hope you got it right now. So why to write a same toString method? Why to write same this one? What get mirror image method? So let's say I will design one more code in front of you. Okay, so based on strings only. Okay, so hope everyone are good with basic core Java, right? Now, so what is my requirement? Let's say I wanted to go with a string array which contains numerics, etc., etc. Okay, let's say, and I'm taking string input array, right? So in that input array, I might go with few string elements. Let's say within double quotes, 1 at the rate of symbol, maybe some special symbols like that. Okay, so likewise, I have few string elements. Right now. Maybe A, yes, some special symbol, 3, followed by QR, something like that, 3. So likewise, I have a few string values. Maybe 6 or 10 or 20 or whatever, right? Assume like that. Okay, so what is my output? My output expectation is, so each and every integer value, digit value is extracted, and it should be added. 4 plus 4, 8, 8 plus 3, 11. I need to get 11, 22, 11, 33, 44. So I need to get an output like 44. So this is my requirement. So we'll write this code and we'll go for testing. Okay, guys, understood? Right. So hope you understood the requirement, right?
Sir, how 44 is coming? Please explain.
See, each and every integer value needs to be extracted and it should be added. Okay, so 1 plus 3, 4, 4 plus 3, 7, 7 plus 4, 11, right? So likewise, understood? Each and every numeric value out of the string should be extracted and it should be converted into a numeric value, and it should be added to the sum, and I need to get a total digits sum. Okay. So this is my requirement. Hope you understood my requirement, right? Now,
Okay, sir.
so let's write method. So my method name is public int get digits sum. Okay. Now I'm going with string argument input array, something like that. Open flowerly brace, closing flowerly brace, and return 0. So this is my requirement. Hope you understood, right? So shall we write the code for this? No. So maybe you can go with the same class, or you can go with a different class. Let's say, and I'm going with a different class, or you can go with the same string utility only, right? So you can go for multiple methods, right, inside of a single class, right? Now, so what is the method, guys? Go with this method. Right now, already we have instructed the Eclipse to give a Java documentation comment. Otherwise, it should throw compile time error. So already we did that settings. Return integer, right? Now, so same we need to go for logging mechanism, right? Right. So method name is right. Now, what is the input we are receiving? So if at all you are printing input, what happened? So in Java, arrays will be considered as objects. So that reference of array will be printed. I don't want reference of the array. What I wanted to know the state of elements in that array. So in that case, we can go for arrays.toString method. Arrays.toString method, you can pass that input so that you came to know what are the elements we are receiving into that. Okay. Now, so what is the value we are returning? We are returning integer value, output sum. Or you can go with a digit sum or whatever it may be, digit sum. You're declaring the method local variable. Method local variable declaration come initialization within a single statement. Okay. Now we can go for response from the method logging. You need to record the activities of the application, right, guys? So anyone joined for today's session only? So already we have discussed this concept.
Yes.
Okay. So this is a continuous session. So don't worry about that. Okay. So just we did a basic, and I told how to follow coding standards and best practices, and what to do with the logging and all. Okay. So don't worry about that. So why and I'm writing this system SYSO statements. Generally in real-time applications, we do go for logging. So what do you mean by logging? Recording the activities of the application. So for testing and debugging purpose, there we are going for log.info, log.error, etc. methods. But just we are doing core Java applications. That's when I'm writing system.out.println. Remember, in real-time applications, you are not supposed to write e.print trace, and you are not supposed to write SYSO statements. Those are all against to coding standards and best practices. Okay, so here only for our understanding purpose, and I'm going with that. Hope you understood, right? Now, so how many members are new now? Last Saturday happened. Okay, so this is continuation only, Devi. Okay, so how many members are new to this session, guys? Okay, don't worry, guys. Okay, right. Now, so just go with that. Now, so what is the algorithm we are supposed to write, guys? So what is the requirement? What is the requirement? What is the requirement? So this is string array which contains string elements. Out of that, we need to extract. What is the algorithm to be followed? What is the way to complete this, right? What is the way? First, what you are supposed to do? So separate each and every cell. separate each and every element from the string array, right? And from string, extract each and every character, right? And check whether the character retrieved is a digit or not, right? So if it is a digit, convert char value of digit and add to total sum variable. So this is the way how we are going to proceed. So do you agree with me or not? So what you are supposed to do, you need to extract each and every digit. Means first of all, from this array you need to extract each and every string element, right? So from that you need to extract each and every character. From that you need to test whether that extracted character is in the numeric format or digit format or not. If it is a digit format, already that value is in the format of a character, then what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to convert that char value into a exact numeric value and you need to add to the sum. So this is the way how we are going to implement the logic for this requirement. Hope you agree. Guys.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, so what I'm supposed to do?
Whose character is 1 to 9, we can add the total.
Yes. Right. Now, what you're supposed to do, first of all, you need to iterate through a string array. So how you will iterate through a string array? You can
Is
go
the for loop.
for loop or a 3-argument for loop, or you can go with a for each loop given by JDK 1.5. So for each loop is introduced in JDK 1.5 version and used to iterate the data over a collection or over an array. So from which variable you are trying to iterate the data? So what type of data is there in that particular collection or array? And if iterated, where to store that iterated value, right? So generally we no need to go for three conditions, right? So int I equal to 0, I less than input dot length, I plus plus and all, right? So here and I'm going with a for each loop. Which version it is introduced? JDK 1.5 version feature, right, ma? JDK 1.5 version feature. So this is called as for each loop, right? Now use it to iterate data over a collection variable or from an array, right? So from which array variable you are trying to read the data? So what type of data is there in that array or collection variable? And if iterated, where to store the iterated value, right? Now, and I'm going for SYSO str, right? Now, so just go here, main method to test your logic. Okay. Later on, I'm taking out the main method. So I wanted to show the result, how it will come. Okay. Now, let's say, meanwhile, just and I'm going with a static method. Later, I will go with a, okay, if it is a static, we are not able to use this keyword. Okay. So let's create an object of string utility or a new string utility dot get digit system. So we need to pass input array, get that input string input array. Guys, hope you are able to follow me, right? Ended with a semicolon. Now I'm passing input. Understood, guys? Now see, each and every array element method invoked, and we are separating each and every string from that array. And what is the input received? This is the input received for that method. Hope you got it. Now, understood, guys? Now what you are supposed to do in that string, you need to extract a character. So then we can go with a char array ch equal to str dot. There is a method, to char array method,
Char array.
right? So I'm going with a for loop from which array? Character array. What type of data is there? Char.
Character.
And what is the temporary variable to hold that? Right now, let me print SYSO statement. Later, I will take out that SYSO statement. This is only for our understanding purpose. Now, what we are doing, we are extracting each and every string. From that string, we are extracting each and every character. Hope you got it. Now, so whether that extractor character is a digit or not, how you came to know?
Is digit
method.
is digit method.
So there
Character.
is a wrapper class character. Inside
is
that
digit.
we have a is
Is
digit
digit.
method. So inside of that is digit method, we are passing that char and it is throwing, it is returning Boolean value true and false, right? Now what I'm supposed to do, digits sum equal to digits sum plus C.
See.
Okay. Now, so is there any typecasting issues you will get? No. So integer is a digit sum is an integer and C is a character. So character is a lower data type when it compared to integer. What happened internally? What happened? A typecasting is happening. Implicit typecasting is happening. Am I correct or not? Now, for each and every character, there is an ASCII value. That ASCII value is added here. That ASCII value is added. And what is the sum we are getting? We are getting sum is 812. Have you noticed that? So this is not a correct way of implementation. So what you are supposed to do, then there is a possibility, right? So when I'm going with math dot abs of, so when I'm separating and I'm subtracting ASCII value of, sorry, and I'm subtracting ASCII value of C with ASCII value of 0. Okay, then you will get correct value. Have you noticed this? Am I correct or not? So what happened previously? So instead of adding exact digit value, what it is adding, guys? Instead of adding exact digit value, what it is adding here?
ASCII values.
The ASCII value of the digit 9 or something like that. So it is not our expectation. Our expectation is to get an exact digit value, right? So how you will do? So when I'm going with math class dot abs method, so abs will give you always positive, and I'm going with subtracting ASCII value of 0. So the digit ASCII value is subtracted with 0th ASCII value and you will get a correct value. This is one way. And what is one? See, you won't get any compile time error, you won't get any runtime error, isn't it? In previous case, have you got any compile time error? Do you get any compile time error?
No.
You will
No.
get any runtime error? No, right? So this is pure mismatch of your understanding. This is pure mismatch of your algorithm implementation wrong, your pure mismatch of subject, right? So it won't come under runtime exception, it won't come under compile time error, right? So as I told earlier, so errors are of three types. So compile time errors, runtime errors, and logical errors. So how you will identify, is this a logical error or not? Is this a logical error or not? Error inside of your code, inside of your implemented code. So only third party verification will identify the logical errors. So that's where, so the errors which are all not come under compile time and the errors which are all not come under runtime or come under logical errors, that logical errors we can identify via testing. So that's where we can go for JUnit testing in our Java code. Hope you understood, right? Right? Do you agree with me or not, guys? Do you agree with me or not? So errors are how many types?
2 types.
Compile time errors.
Runtime error.
Compile time errors are syntactical errors. Next one is runtime errors caught by exception handling mechanism, and third one, logical errors.
Logical error.
Right. So these logical errors will identify via testing. So do you agree with me or not? So
Yes.
to find these logical errors in our Java code, as a Java developer, we are going with JUnit. Hope you understood now, right? So is it a pure logical error or not, guys? So it won't caught at runtime, it won't caught at compile time. So only developer, you have to identify these logical errors, and we can identify these logical errors via testing only. Hope you understood, right? Understood, guys?
Yes, sir. Sir, notation is required.
Which notation?
A rate of 1 minute. Bottom up. Please go to the bottom up. Yeah, param. Start. In notation, a rate of params arguments.
See, this is Java documentation, right?
Okay.
So Java doc comments, right?
Is library, no, sir?
Yes, that you need to enable. Otherwise, no one will ask you. So we did that setting, enabling the Java documentation comments, right?
Yeah.
Once again, I will show you, right? So properties. Here we are enabling Java compiler. Here we are enabling Java doc comments, right?
Yes.
Right. So that we did last session, guys. Okay, right. So previously, if you are not giving, you won't get any compile time error. But I did that setting. So that's this setting is assuring that if at all you are not giving any comments, it will show you compile time error. Okay, right. So this is one way digit sum. And one more method is there. So this is our pure basic logic, but you can go with a predefined method. So instead of that, you can go with a character dot get numeric value. Character dot get numeric value. There is a method. So you can pass that character and it will give you it will extract exact character value and it will return. So there is a get numeric value method, which is there inside of your character class, and which is a static method, and you can make use of that. Hope you understood. All right. Guys, any question till here? Okay. This is okay. But what if at all you are sending array is a null? Possible, right? So have you written this test-driven TDD code? No. So what you did, you just implemented your business requirement, right? But what if whatever the array you supplied is an empty? What if the array you passed is a null value, right? You didn't handle that errors, right? Am I correct or not, guys?
Yeah, yes.
So always you need to go with a test-driven development. So you need to go with that case, right? Now, see, let's say possible, right?
Always our code is 360 degrees satisfaction.
Yes. Let's say, what if you are passing null?
Null input is equal to
There might be, right? Now what happened? So anyhow, it is a unchecked exception. JVM is handling, right? But your code is not dealing with that, right?
Null exceptions.
It is an unchecked exception system is giving, but end user knows about this? No. Your method is handling this null pointer exception? No, right? So you didn't care about that. So what you are supposed to do, you need to write the test-driven development, right? Now, before that, what I'm doing here itself, and I'm checking if whatever the input you are passing is equal to null. So you need to throw user null pointer exception, right? Now what I'm doing, throw new null pointer exception, and you can give a user understandable message, right? Converting predefined error messages into user understandable format. Okay. So, right, input might be a Input is a null reference.
Yes.
Please avoid some message,
Okay. Okay.
some message, right?
Right.
Then what if it is an empty? That might be an empty array also, right?
Yes, sir.
So you can go for a R condition. If input dot size, length, right? It's not a collection. Length equal to 0. Okay. So input is a null reference or empty array. Please avoid. Hope you got it right.
Yes.
Right now it guarantees your code. Right. So
Same.
input is a
Same
null
problem.
input is a null reference or empty array. Please avoid. Right. So you didn't handle by using try catches, no? Okay, that's where. Right. So hope you understood, right? Now your
Yes.
code is perfect. Now your code is perfect or not?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now you need to go for testing whether all the scenarios are satisfied or not. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So can we design test cases for this method? Right.
Right.
Right. Now we'll go with
Test.
new class test digits sum, and I'm going with test digits sum class. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So we are using JUnit 4.0 and above. That's where you no need to extend test case class. Is it required to extend test case class? It's not required. Why? Because we are going with a JUnit 4. Okay, if at all you are going with JUnit 4 and above, you no need to go with a test case class. Just we can manage with annotations. So before that, what you are supposed to do, you need to add the JUnit library into your workspace, right? So how you will add JUnit library into your workspace? Go to build path, add libraries, JUnit libraries. This is one way, or otherwise you can download the jar files and put the jar files inside of a build path, or third way, go with a Maven project and in pom.xml, what are all the dependencies? You can add the dependencies. Hope you understood, right? Guys, any question here?
No question.
Right? Now, can I proceed further?
Yes, sir.
Okay. New guys? New guys? Who joined today?
Today I am Sanjeev.
Yeah. Guys, say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Good, good.
Okay.
Right. Now, see. So how many times you need to create an object of string utility here for each and every test case method? So instead of that, what I'm doing, and I'm going with a method called, let's say, and I'm going with a method called public void init method. So inside of that init method, what I'm doing, and I'm going with a method instance variable, right? So my instance variable name is private.
Sir, for every method, different class we need to take, or in the same class we can perform?
You can write in same class. So thought of doing in a previous class, but you guys added today, right? That's why, and I'm going with a separate class. So generally you can perform in a single class itself.
Okay.
Understood? Right. So today few more guys joined, that's where, and I'm going with some other class. Okay, for this method, right? So that depends on your usage, right? And if you want to make your testing simpler, you can go with a separate classes as well. Okay. So private string utility, and I'm going with string utility equal to null, right? So what I'm doing, and I'm instantiating this string utility equal to new string utility, right? Now on top of this, and I'm going with an annotation called @before. Why am I going with @before? If at all you are going with @before annotation, before start of each and every test case method, this logic will execute.
Yes.
Okay. So that's where here to understand and I'm writing SYSO statement.
SYSO.
Generally, these SYSOs are not needed. Okay, from init method. So to showcase the functionality, and I'm writing init method, right? So and I'm going with a public. So generally, we need to make the objects eligible for garbage collection if that objects are not needed by the program. So to make your garbage collection easier. Okay, so as a good developer, you need to make that objects eligible for garbage collection if it is not required, right? So I'm going with @ annotation, right? Now what I'm doing, and I'm making this string utility equal to null, making objects eligible for garbage collection. So generally these methods are called as tier up and tier down methods.
Means
Generally, we are giving tier up and tier down methods to
Okay,
maintain the
yeah.
object life cycles. Okay.
okay.
Right. So generally in Spring or somewhere in servlet lifecycle, we have init and destroy methods, right? So in that object lifecycle, right? Same way. Okay. Right. Hope you got it right.
Yes.
Now we need to test which method? Get digits sum method.
Get digit sum.
So, and I'm taking this method. So generally we need to go for a public void
Void.
test
Test.
get digits sum,
Get digit here method name.
right? So open flowerly brace, closing flowerly brace, right? So we are giving Java documentation comments. So otherwise it will give you a compile time error, right? So when I'm going for positive scenario test case, testing positive scenario, right? Right? Positive scenario means correct input, correct output.
Okay.
Right. So how JVM will recognize whether it is a test case method or not, unless and until you are not putting any @ test annotation, it won't be considered like a test case method, and it won't be executed by, these tests are not executed by JUnit framework. So test annotation guarantees this method will be considered as a test method and included in runtime. Okay. Right. Right. So maybe YouTube, we have session 1, I guess. So already our admin guys posted this video. Okay. Just a minute.
I took more than 300 interviews when I worked for Facebook. 80% of people I interviewed for problem solving failed the interview. 90% of people I interviewed for system design failed the interview. Visible to everyone, right?
Right. So make a note of this link, guys. Okay. So our first session is there. So hope everyone are good with do it method. Hope you understood, guys. Yeah.
Sir, noise sir.
Sorry. Yes. That's okay, ma. You have that link, right? You can open that link and will give you go through that video. Okay. That code coverage. Hope you got it. So you can do it in whichever the format you wanted. Understood, guys? So it will give you an Excel sheet. New guys, you can make use of that video link and go through that.
Sir, actually, I want to create the different methods and parent to child. Can I use?
Which one, parent to child?
Yeah, this one.
I didn't understand. I didn't understand the question. Can you come again?
Yes, sir. Actually, I want to parent extend to parent to child to call. Can I
Okay.
use?
We'll check that after the session. Okay.
Okay.
So first let it complete. Okay. Right. Right. So test digit sum. Right. So go with the input, guys. Go with the input. Positive input. Right. Let's take that input. Right. Right. Now call that method, guys. So string utility dot. What is the method name, guys? Get digits sum. We are passing the input. So what it is returning, guys? It is returning an integer value, right? Digits sum equal to, right? And we need to go with which method? So to check the equality of expected value and returned value. So you need to go with a method called asset.
Asset dot
Asset equals method.
equals, yeah.
So expected 44.
Yes.
And actual digits sum. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so this is positive test, right? And we'll go for remaining test cases, right? So what is the remaining test case, right? What if whatever the input you supplied is a null value, null reference, right? Understood, guys?
Yes, sir.
If it is a null reference, it should throw null pointer exception.
Right.
It should throw null pointer exception.
Null pointer.
So whether it is throwing null pointer exception or not. So how you will do that? So by going with a test, and you can put inside of a SYSO statement, or if it is a unchecked exception, you can go with expected equal to what we are expecting, null pointer exception dot class.
Exception.
Hope you got it right.
Yes.
And one more scenario, empty. So for empty, you can go with a user defined exception, right? So we'll design that user defined exception. Give me a minute, okay? So that will be a good approach right now for us. Am I correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Then we came to know how to handle user defined exceptions, and the two if it is a checked exception. That is also one scenario. Okay. So what I'm doing, let me create one user defined exception. So no elements found, something like that. Okay. New class, no elements found exception. So how to create a user defined exception? It should be a subclass of either checked exception class or runtime exception. If you wanted to make it is a checked exception, then it is a subclass of exception. If you wanted to make that exception as an unchecked exception, then it should be a subclass of unchecked exception. Okay, so just give me a minute, Harihara. Okay, right now, so you can go with that, right? Now I'm going with the constructors. Just and I'm going with source, right? So generate constructors from superclass. So I don't want all these constructors. No, I want default constructor, and I want one string exception, right? Basic Java, right? So again, Java documentation comments, right? So go here, source, superclass, right? So generate constructor comments, right? So just go with that. Then it is easy for us, right? So you are not supposed to have any to-do lines of code, meaning code is not yet completed. Still you have to write the code. That is the meaning of to-do. Okay. So there is no implementation. That's why I'm taking out the to-do comments. So just comments, if it is there, no problem. But your manager won't consider by seeing that. So you have to write some code here. What is the code? That will be the question. Right?
So super constructor is mandatory, sir. There, line number
Right.
18.
Why? Because it will create an instance from the superclass, right? Understood? So we are giving the responsibility of creating instance of no elements found exception class from a exception class. Okay, right. So super with the default is not mandatory, but super with arguments is mandatory, right? Understood? Right. Now, so how to handle this? How to before that you need to do little bit of customization in code. Okay. So what customization you do? If it is a null, anyhow, it is a user defined exception. Got it?
Yes.
Understood, right? So if it is empty, if input dot, anyhow, I have written the code, right? So input dot length equal to 0. So I wanted to throw
Null exception.
new, not null exception. no elements found exception, right?
No
We
one.
We create a user defined exception and Control C, right?
Sir, null or empty both are not same, sir.
Not same, no. Null means object itself null, right? Empty means no elements. Object is there, array is there, but there are no elements in that. Okay, right. So
Okay, sir.
see, this no elements exception is an unchecked exception. So if method body is throwing unchecked, checked exception, sorry, no elements found exception is a checked exception, right? So if a method body is throwing checked exception, then that method heading you are supposed to place inside of it. That method heading also placed with a throws declaration. Am I correct or not?
Yes.
Right now, so and you need to add to the Java documentation comment, add all missing tags. Hope you got it right. So if a method body is throwing checked exception, then the method heading you are supposed to place inside of a that method heading also should be added with a checked exception, and the method call should be there inside of try and catch. That method call also should be there inside of a try and catch. Am I correct or not? So these are all the rules of
Yes.
throw and throws keywords, right? So if it is not mandatory, if at all you are dealing with the unchecked exceptions, but if at all you are dealing with the checked exceptions, these rules are mandatory. So if a method body is throwing checked exception, that method heading is supposed to place with a throws declaration, and the method call should be placed inside of a try and catch. Am I correct or not? No. So what you are supposed to do, see here, entirely changed. Then what you are supposed to do, you need to put that method call inside of try and catch. Okay, right. Now here we are expecting what we are expecting. Here it should throw null pointer exception. So you are not expecting control to come into no elements found exception. That's where in case by mistake control is coming to no elements found exception category, then you need to make sure that test case is failed.
Failed.
So that's where we are using a fail assertion. Hope you got it right.
Yes.
Now, so even positive scenario also you need to put inside of a try and catch, quick fix. Put in try and catch. Now, and I'm going with one more catch block, null point exception, right? So, and I'm not expecting control to come into these catch blocks. Am I correct or not? So by mistake, control is coming to catch blocks. I need to make this test case fail. Understood, guys?
Yeah.
So that's where our logic is changed, right? Little bit, right?
Okay.
So method local variable declaration come initialization within a single statement. Hope you got it, Nama. So we are searching for positive scenario. So nowhere the control should go for catch blocks. In case by mistake the control is coming to catch blocks, we need to make sure that test cases are fail. So that's where we are going with a fail assertion. Hope you got it.
Yes.
Understood, guys? Now,
Yes.
so in this scenario, we are expecting null pointer exception. Okay. And it should be placed inside of a try and catch. Right. So in this case, what we are checking with empty, no? Empty array, right, Nama? Right. So you can go with, but just to check whether the control is coming to here or not, e.get message. Right now, I'm going with err.println. Okay, right. So catch null pointer exception. Right. I don't want to get control to come to this null pointer exception class. Hope you understood. Testing negative empty scenario. Which scenario are checking one?
Negative.
So you need to give that commentation. Then only later you might identify for what is the reason and I have implemented testing negative scenario, negative null scenario. Am I correct or not? So remaining and I'm going for positive scenarios. Hope you understood.
Yes, sir.
Right. So can I run this code? No,
Yes.
and I'm running this. Run as JUnit test.
JUnit test.
Okay. So see here, ma. Right? Empty array. Right. And let me take out that SYSO statements. Now that SYSO statements are not needed for me, right? Let me comment that SYSO statements. Got it? Understood? Right. Now observe here, ma. Let me run once again. Now test cases are passed. Right? Observe here. Test digit sum 1, 1, 2 methods are executed. So maybe you will guarantee all these test cases are executing in the same sequence every point of time. You might not give the guarantee. Okay, sometimes. So in case if you wanted to make sure the test cases are executing in the order what you have mentioned, what you are supposed to do, you need to go with one annotation here at the rate of fixed method orders, method orders starters dot. We have default method, JVM method, name ascending. We can go with that so that your test cases are executing in a sequence. Okay. So why I'm telling Noma? You might write in different order. So initially you try for one positive scenario. These are simple, no, then you won't get any issue. If at all you are dealing with some complex scenarios, you might have to check multiple positive scenarios. Few allows, see, whenever we are going with a, which one may be form registration or something like that, what might happen. So few fields are mandatory, few fields are not mandatory. So to check that, so positive test cases also, you need to implement more numbers. So then you need to maintain the sequence also. So in that case, you need to go with, if you wanted to maintain test cases are executing in a sequence, then you need to go for a at the rate of fixed method order annotation. Right?
Name
Understood?
ascending means alphabetical order.
Alphabetical order. And JVM default, JVM order, default order, something. We have few other parameters for that. You can check on that. Okay. And observe here, if you observe SYSO statements, see how many test cases are there? 3 test cases. So for each, before starting of each test case, init method is executed.
Yeah.
After completion of test case, destroy method is executed. Right? Now, let me go here. So here we didn't write the SYSO statement. That might be a case. Okay. So here, let me write SYSO statements. SYSO from destroy method. Right? Now let me run this. Right? So for each and every test case, init method is executed before starting of test case. So after completion of test case, destroy method is destroying the object. Right? So how many test cases are there? That many number of times
3.
init method and destroy methods are executed. Why? Because we are using at the rate of before and at the rate of after annotation. Right? So if you wanted to do so, I don't want these many number of times. I want for all the test cases, init method is executed only one time. After completion of all the test cases execution, the destroy method needs to be executed. So in that case, we can go for before class and after class annotations. Before class and after class annotations. So if you wanted to go for before class and after class annotations, right? So initialization is failed. Why? Because before class annotation and these things will work for static methods. Before class means it should be a static method. One time activity. Hope you got it.
Yes.
Right. Before class means only static methods only, right? So if you wanted to go for, see here, init method is executed only one time, destroy method is executed only one time, and all your test cases are completed. So this is the difference between at the rate of before and before class annotation and at the rate of after and after class annotations.
Before class means before main.
Yes. Main is not, in any case, main is not needed no ma for us. Any case, main method is not required, right? So we are testing by using our test case methods itself, right? There is no
Yes.
need of main method, no. Maybe in our actual scenario, static methods and static blocks are loaded before executed before main itself. Why? Because those are all the loaded at the time of class loader subsystem itself, right? Hope you know the differences, right? Maybe if at all you are attending tomorrow session, I will give a little more clarity on the static blocks, etc. Hope you got it.
Sir, tomorrow also session there.
Tomorrow Java session, but not this one. Java question and answer session.
Sir, is this was today ended the end of the this is the last class for today?
No. We'll have little continuation, right?
Sir, please share today's report in YouTube.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. Sir, actually, may I know what is the topic for tomorrow? Like Java session?
Tomorrow topic is interview questions preparation.
Yeah.
Sir, is JUnit was completed?
No. Continuing. Okay.
Hi, sir. Sir, actually, I have a doubt. Like in real-time scenario, the real-time project means, so for one controller, we will have around 10 or 15 methods. So it will be like, example, we are having 15 controller. So it will be more than 150 methods now. So we have to, how can we handle this, sir?
So we can go with a test suite. Okay. And we can go for test suites. Next topic, and I'm going to do that only.
Okay.
And after that, in real time, we have JUnit EE framework to cover controller layer, etc. Okay.
Okay.
And
But,
maybe
we don't need to write manually for all those controllers. If we are going for the
yes.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
Sir, in real time, actually, we have to write some customized expressions, right?
Yes.
That is a unchecked expressions, right? Sometime we have written.
That's what. No, that depends. So if you wanted to create a checked exception or unchecked exception, that is up to your business requirement.
Yes,
If
it extends like a REST entity exception or runtime exception. If you use that one, that is a unchecked exceptions, right?
If at all you are going with runtime exception, it should be an unchecked exception.
Yeah.
Okay. If at all you are going with a extends exception, it is a checked exception. That depends on your requirement. So if you wanted to make that exception as a checked exception or unchecked exception.
Yes, sir. If you take like that customer record not found, that is a it is a unchecked, right?
Sir, all custom exceptions are unchecked exceptions, right?
No. See, all custom, that depends on your project requirement and your scenario requirement. So it's not the case that all the user defined exception should be a checked exception. That depends.
Yeah, the interview also, sir. Actually, questions it's in real time. Customized expressions all is a checked exceptions or unchecked exception.
That's what, no, that depends on that project scenario.
Yes,
So
sir. I told like extends the runtime exception, then that is a unchecked exception.
Yes.
That's correct, right, sir?
Yes, correct.
Thank you.
Okay, right. So guys, till now understood, right? This scenario.
Yes.
Okay, right. So see, if at all and I'm running run as JUnit, so only that particular class is running, right?
Why?
Only that particular class only is running. So how to run multiple classes, multiple test classes at a single time, right? Hope you understood.
Yes.
So for that, we need to go for a test suite design. Okay. Now let me go with that. And I'm going with an example class. Test suite example demo. Right. And I'm running these two test cases in a single shot. Test case classes in a single shot. So for that, just give me a minute. Now we can go with few annotations. JUnit tutorial. Designing a test suite. Okay. So we can go with at the rate of run with suite classes. Okay. at the rate of run with suit class. And what are all the test case classes you wanted to run at a single shot? Okay, test string utility dot class. And what is the next class you wanted to test? Test digits sum, right? Test digit sum. So what are all the test suite you wanted to design? You need to place the test cases classes separated by comma. Then what happen? All the test classes will run. Okay, what are all included with suite? Okay, so go with run as JUnit. Now see here. See here. 6 test cases are run.
Yes.
First 4 from test string utility class. Next 3 from test digits sum class. So this is how we are going to design a test suite. This is how we are going to design a test suite. Hope you got it right, guys. Now,
Yes,
so
sir.
we go for coverage. So coverage as I told ECLM coverage, right? JUnit test. Now, so check here. Based on the test cases you have implemented, almost all lines of code is covered, right? So green color means all lines of code is covered, right? Excellent. So you no need this main method. Take out this main method. So only for our understanding purpose, I have implemented main method previously. So now main method is not needed, right? So go for coverage, right? Now observe here, almost all lines of code, whatever you implemented, all lines of code is covered, right? So this is the way how we are going to write your code, right? See, what is the code coverage percentage? 100%, right? So see, string utility class. So how many lines of code is covered?
100%.
100%. So almost your code needs to be covered more than 90 to 95%. Then only your code is good, right?
Sir, in real time code monitoring, like code coverage, any tools there, sir?
So ECLM code coverage tool. So the plugin which here and I'm using is ECLM code coverage. Okay, so that I explained in a previous session, guys.
Okay, that link is a yesterday session, right, sir? You
Not
put in chat
yesterday,
box.
last Saturday session. So
Okay,
in
thank
that window, our people forwarded that, right? So
Yes, yes.
have a note of that.
Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Guys, any more questions?
No, sir.
So
Yeah, sir. Yeah,
new-
I'm having one question.
just a minute, just a minute. Give me a minute. Let me check with new guys. Later I will come to that. Okay. New guys, any question?
Sir, today's session can we get as a recorded?
Sorry, come again.
Today's session can we get as a recorded session?
Yes, yes. It will be uploaded and shared by our admin team. Okay.
Okay.
Sir, on this side.
Yeah.
So we are writing this string utility classes and individual test case along with the test suite. So it is specific with the controller or service or DAO, or we need to write the individual for the
Generally, in real-time applications now, and I'm using a JUnit, right? So it won't cover entire controller layer. So this we can write for covering the service layer, DO layer, etc. and all. Okay, right. So if you wanted to cover the test cases from your web application standpoint, then there is a framework called JUnit EE, right? So that you have to use. And maybe there is a framework called Coctus. So by using that, we can do. Hope you understood.
So using this framework, we can write like
only for this basic JUnit, we can go for covering the service layer and DO layer likewise.
What about controllers, sir?
So that's what, if you wanted to check from entire web application from controller layer you wanted to test, then you need to learn JUnit EE framework.
Got it.
Or Coctus framework.
Okay, sir. Got it.
JUnit EE. JUnit EE. Or there is a framework called Coctus. Okay. And,
please suggest URL, sir.
And
URL.
generally we can go for Makito also. Okay.
No, Mockito I heard, JUnit EM, this is first time I heard.
Yes.
Okay, no worries. Thank you. Yes,
Right.
got it.
Sir, can you please suggest that any URLs, like website URLs for getting the knowledge and end-to-end controller to DO?
So that you can go browse, you will get, right?
Okay. You have some. Okay.
So generally we used to cover from DO, we used to check service and DO layers only. Generally,
Okay.
in my practical experience, right?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Guys, any questions still here?
Sir, if we have a possibility of race conditions in the code, so how should we do?
Sorry?
If we have a possibility for a race condition in the code block, so how? So like the same test unit sometimes passes, sometimes fails. So how should we deal with?
So logically, you need to go through the code and you need to check for that scenarios. So those are all a little complex, and for this session out of context, we can browse and we can later. Okay.
Sir,
only business logic methods need to test any IIB or constructor. We need to write test cases for that also.
Sorry.
Means only business logic methods for we need to write JUnit test cases or any constructor or IIB if we declare any.
Generally we used to write test cases for our business logic methods only.
Okay, but while running the test cases, that shows in red color. Is that any impact?
See, those red color means that classes are not covered. Okay, which one? Maybe this one, right? So this one, right? So it is not covered. We didn't use any default constructor, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't use any constructor with throwable in our implemented code. So what all the lines of code is covered, that won't be highlighted with green. Okay.
But if that string utility class contains one non-parameterized constructor, and
where
we are not
you didn't use in this scenario, right? So you are testing these methods. In these methods, what are all the methods or what are all the constructors you have used, those portion only covered and it will be showed in the report. Okay. So you nowhere use these constructors in your implemented code or in your test methods, right? Then how it will be covered. Understood?
Yes, yes.
Sir, any real-time projects of your batch?
Yes, we'll do that. So,
Sir, JUnit any separate batch?
we'll be planning for JUnit separate batch, maybe in coming weekend. Okay. See,
I have one question, sir.
Just a minute.
I just joined lately. Is this JUnit is just started or this is a last class?
This is a last session and the second session is completed. Okay.
Okay. Any specific batch for JUnit is going on?
So next week we'll start. So by today it will be completed. So last Saturday and this Saturday we done, and maybe next weekend we'll start the fresh batch on JUnit once again.
Okay, that's fine. Here, what you need to cover and all, JUnit or JUnit 4 or something, right?
JUnit 4 and JUnit 5.
Okay.
And code.
May I know the timings, sir?
We'll publish. We'll plan and we'll publish. Okay. Maybe.
Okay,
next.
fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sir, this is the last
difference? Sorry, come again.
This is the last class, sir?
This is the last class for JUnit.
Sir, what is the difference between the JUnit and JUnit Mockito?
Mockito framework is internally depends on JUnit only. The thing, for testing, we can go for Mockito. Instead of supplying the static values. Okay.
Okay, sir, but actually you told that test suite we can use for to run different controllers, but that is only for to run the different test
cases, not different controllers.
Yeah, but actually if it is having 150 methods, then how we can handle how can we do we need to write manually for each method, or
we need to write manually for each method?
Okay. Okay.
Sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir,
Yeah, sir. Any batch is going on in morning or any other batch
So for which one, ma?
for like Java specific real-time tools or like project of your batch?
Morning sessions next week we are planning my real-time tools and all. So Monday we are starting Java real-time batch. So complete full stack batch we are starting Monday 7 p.m.
Coming Monday, sir.
29th.
Okay, okay. Okay, sir. Got it.
Just a minute. Just a minute, ma. Give me a minute. Let me pause the